If you've ever been sent a message where there's that kind of shrugging person in it, and if you're listening to this, you can't see what it's the most unflattering shrug ever. A shrugging person, and it's made up of punctuation characters. There's a kind of a bracket and a line and a slanty line, etc., etc. It's basically an emoji that's made with punctuation characters, but it's got a real name. It's called a cowmoji. A cowmoji, as in K-A-O moji, not moo moji. Anyway, that's what we're talking about in today's episode of the Daily Sales Message Podcast, where every little day a small piece of me dies and gets replaced with just the insanity that is mapping out all of sales and selling to the nth degree. But hey, that's the road I'm on. Anyway, so Cowmoji they existed before emojis, first and foremost, because emojis weren't a thing, depending on how old you are listening to or watching this. But a Cowmoji is not subject to being received correctly by the other person's device. If you send an emoji, depending on who you're sending it to and the device, it may or may not show up correctly. And some people find emojis really unprofessional. And having color in your for some people, they're not up for it. For some people, it's amazing and it's what they're all about. But a cowmoji, by definition, has no color because it's just the punctuation characters. But it means whoever you send it to, they're going to get it because it's not subject to them having those particular characters or emoji images within their device. So it travels better. It plays exactly the same role as an emoji, so it's used to communicate emotion and other things, and really to communicate playfulness and fun things. But it's just another, now less common way of doing it. There's Cowmoji translators on the internet where you can kind of cut and paste things. So you don't have to figure out how to precisely make it character by character, but it can add a little bit of fun, a little bit of something different to your messages or to the text that you're creating when you can't rely on emojis. Right, that's it for this episode of the podcast. Tomorrow, in episode 788, I'm going to talk about, I went for a walk down Oxford Street and I saw this. Sounds like the start of a strange anecdotal story and joke, doesn't it? I went down Oxford Street and I saw this, but I was inspired by this particular thing. I gave it a name. It might have a real name. I don't really care. I gave it my own name, so it's easy for me to understand. And I can explain it in tomorrow's episode, and it's used to seize people's attention. That's what it's used for, as well as cut down on character count. So we'll explore that in tomorrow's episode. In the meantime, thank you for listening or watching all the way to the end. I appreciate it. I'll catch you tomorrow for another exciting edition of the Daily Sales Message.